4-quarter game. So really just a half, honestly. The offense in the second half. I've been watching and listening all day, and it's just been, blame this penalty, blame that penalty, inaccuracy, this and that. It's a combination of everything. What really some stuff seemed to make sense to me, that, and this is what you'd expect from last year's team, and I don't want to talk about last year's team, but when that Darnell penalty, right, the penalty that wasn't a penalty, it seemed to steamroll after that, and winning teams don't let one little thing. You're gonna have adversity in everything in football, but in everything, and if you let one little thing happen and start blaming yourselves for that, or and then just get down. That just seemed to be that seemed to make the most sense to me. But there's a lot of reasons why we lost that game.
Clarence, I know you put your daughter up to this post. Andy, I took the belt to your ass. Alicia. I know. I already know who's responsible for that post. So my thoughts on the game last night. I have serious questions about Caleb Williams going forward. I hate to say it. I know it's one game, but he was inaccurate as hell last year. And we all wrote it off as poor coaching, poor staff, poor schematics, poor this, poor that. You got to make some of those throws. Those are NFL throws quarterbacks are expected to make. I'm not saying the throws were the main reason we lost. There's a whole list. Like, I thought our special teams was horrible. We gave up a block punt. We didn't kick the ball at the end of the end zone at the end of the game to save that 2-minute warning. We missed a field goal. I thought our O-line was not that great last night. I mean, when you have 12 penalties for 127 yards, that's a fucking problem. You got so many false starts. Again, after all we heard was, oh, Ben's taking a belt to someone's ass like Alicia did to mine. And here we are. Two holding. I mean, yes, the holding penalty on Darnell Wright I did not agree with, but good teams overcome stuff like that. I mean, there's a number of reasons we lost that game. So now I got to decide who I want to go to next. I'll be a gentleman.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go
to Chicago Clarence first, and then I guess go last. I'll be a nice
that's
guy.
The decision right there.
Yeah, it's a very tough decision. So Chicago Clarence, what are your thoughts on what we saw last night?
If you want to sit there and talk about the holding penalty that wasn't a holding penalty, whatever. You want to talk about some of the calls, whatever. You want to talk about the missed field goal, whatever. At the end of the day, a quarterback has to go out there and make a play. You're in your building, the crowd is on your side, and it's time for you to go out there and make a play. And you did not. You know what you did? You stepped out of bounds and cost your team 4 yards and gave yourself 3rd and 14. You know what else you did? You took an intentional grounding call that cost you loss of down and 10 yards and made a very makeable field goal even harder. So, you know who made plays? Fucking rookie quarterback on the other side. We were handing him his ass for 3 quarters. But when it came to winning time, that guy went out there and made plays, and you did not. Caleb Williams, there is no excuse today. No excuse for losing that football game. The defense had us in control of the game. And at this, and when it got time to go out there and make a play and win the football game, Caleb Williams did not do it. And he and Ben Johnson are the two people that draws my ire more than anybody else. I don't want to even talk. Don't give me about the refs and missed calls. There's missed calls in every fucking football game. We know this. It's no excuse. But you can't sit out there and have your offense go out there and give you 10 points for the whole game when your defense is controlling the other team. That game should have been put away by the 4th quarter. And you know who teams go out there and make the Philadelphia Eagles put you away. The Buffalo Bills put you away. Super Bowl teams with Super Bowl aspirations put you away when you got a defense that's performing at the level that ours was for 3 quarters. We are not there. We are not there. And if Caleb Williams turns out to not be the guy, this is on nobody other than Ryan Poles. Because the guy he replaced showed up on Sunday. His team lost, but it wasn't his fault. It was far from being his fault. Caleb Williams, and I counted, missed 6 open throws, layups that could have helped decide this football game. Can't do it. You sitting up there talking about you want partly control of the team to sign your contract. We already know that you're going to sit out there and be a problem at the negotiating table. We already know this. You ain't showed up yet. That's a game you're supposed to win. No excuse. No excuse.
All right, D. Take it away, man.
All right, Clarence. So when we had the conversation on Sunday, right? You said that you said something about mythical creatures. Remember you said that?
I think when we were talking about stepping on the tail of a dragon
You said that.
or something. I don't remember. I remember something about a dragon getting stepped on. Where did he go? Guess he's gone.
I think I'm gonna do the whole
Oh,
podcast.
jeez. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna do it like this. Hey, I told you, Clarence, don't step on the tail of a dragon. I'm here, and it ain't mythical. Okay? I got this just for you.
Well, let's get back to the real deal. Let's get back to it, though.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the first time we've had a dragon on our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get back to it, though. So, Clarence, you did a lot of talking, man. And I agree with you to a certain extent. We gave you, Caleb Williams, because we said Caleb Williams already played in the league. He already has some experience, and we didn't know what to expect, from McCarthy. And to a certain extent, I do agree. Your defense held us in check. Our offense, we left our offense in Minnesota. I feel that. But at the same time, though, when the lights became brighter, we showed up. And I know, like, one of the worst things you can say when you like talking about quarterback traits, you can say like he has a great arm and people say he's a winner. But this kid's a winner and he showed it last night. I think you guys have, and I ain't trying to rag on y'all too much. I think y'all made a mistake at the top. And it's showing, and it might like take you guys a couple of years to get out of it. And it's kind of like we might be lucky by not giving Ryan Poles that job. And I see that now.
Right. Well, all of us are on the fence for Ryan Poles. I can speak for all of us on that. Like, Todd used to be in on him big, but I can't forgive him for the Matt Eberflus era. I don't care what he does. I can't forgive him for those 3 years of horrible football. But also, you got a problem if you got a wide receiver playing running back. We have a running back problem. DeAndre Swift ain't it. I mean, he ran hard at times last night, but he just doesn't have the vision to cut back and see those lanes. He just doesn't.
I just think when when GMs get the job, they like kind of have a vision. They write it down and kind of have a vision of what they want to do. And then when the team's not winning or like trying to succeed at any way, they start going away from that vision just to try to like cut and paste and put a Band-Aid on the situation. And I think like that's what Poles did. I mean, just like Clarence said like on Sunday, you guys could have traded that pick and got, a boatload for a number one pick besides getting Caleb Williams. And the stuff that I'm hearing about Caleb Williams having learning disabilities and all kind of other stuff going on, like, I'm just putting that solely on Ryan Poles, because if you knew that going into the draft, you didn't really interview anybody else besides Caleb. Caleb knew he was going number one, and you got Drake May. You guys could have had Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, and it's just like it's the same old song. But back to the game though. Hey, it almost gave me a heart attack last night, but I'm happy to sit here and say we got the win.
I was pretty mad last night. I'm questioning Caleb Williams. Like, you just got to make those throws. Those are NFL throws that a quarterback is expected to make, and you got to make them. It's just that simple. I'm not, like I said, he didn't lose. It wasn't solely because of those throws we lost that game. It was the snowball. It started snowballing, like Todd said, after that Darnell Wright penalty.
I mean, you're going to miss once or twice. Yes. You're going to miss a couple times a game. You can't miss 6 or 7 times. But also, they spent a lot of time talking about the throws he didn't make.
Yes,
this was open. Look at, what was he thinking here? It's one game, and I don't want to overreact to it. But yeah, I have concerns also. I have concerns still whether, he said that, he's happy and he wants to be there and all that. I'm not 100% convinced that he isn't trying to find a way out. You know what I mean? Make us make a move. But it's one game, and just ignore that, because I'm not going to make anything statement based on one game. But he
I don't think
he played well for maybe a quarter total.
First quarter he was great.
Yeah, but
first drive he was electric.
Yeah, and that was all scripted, and just when he kind of got off on his own, he just I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Oh man!
So I see the comment about
Clarence's daughter has joined in the chat, so gotta. She wants to know, D Woods, you think JJ has faced his toughest defense yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. It's only one game. We got to go against San Diego. I still call them San Diego because we don't believe in. We got to go against them. There's got Baltimore on the schedule. I just think what was bothering McCarthy at the beginning of the game, I feel Kevin O'Connell was trying to play it too conservative, and he got into his own head, and he, just couldn't. The offense just couldn't get rolling, and I kind of feel like when he threw that pick six, it kind of woke him up, because at that point, there's no choice but for you to open up the offense at that point, because if you don't and you consider to stay conservative, you just gave the game away.
We were getting consistent pressure on him in the first half. That's going to make anybody uncomfortable.
Exactly. So, but one thing too, though, that I give you guys credit for, and this is kind of like a lot of my Viking fans don't kind of agree with me. Even if you're not scoring points all the time, if your team is able to bleed the clock and have multiple possessions and make different cracks at it, you guys kept your offense on the field for like the first 3 quarters longer than us. We kept going 3 and outs. And I'm trying to explain to people, like, our defense is kind of letting us down, because when Caleb is scrambling, he's kind of getting what he wants. When he's on a couple of third downs, he was getting like 10 here, 10 there. And even though you don't get the points, you still kind of control the narrative and you bleed the clock. And I'm just disappointed in Brian Flores at that aspect of it.
Clarence, let me ask you something. Didn't you expect more out of this offense, though? Like, where was the chunk plays? Where were the shots down the field? Where was this innovative breakneck offense? Like, it just like
he didn't throw the ball. He wouldn't throw. There were plays. I mean, I watched several breakdowns today just on it, and they got the clock where he's at and where the receivers are. He just didn't push the ball.
So after the first drive, I have it written down. After the first drive, we scored a touchdown. After that, 5 plays, 17 yards. 5 plays, 37 yards. 3 plays, 2 yards. 9 plays, 35 yards. Field goal. End of first half. Third quarter, we ran 8 plays for 23 total yards. Fourth, in the thing that pissed me off the most, second half, we came out there, 3 plays, 0 yards. This is from supposedly an offensive genius. Chicago Clarence, what do you think of Ben Johnson's game plan? Like, I just didn't see an offensive genius last night.
It was one of my keys to the game.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to, we paid this guy $13 million. Guys, $13 million to come in here and fix the problems that showed up again last night. There's no excuse for us to have 12 penalties for 122 yards. Pre-snap penalties that we knew was a problem back in camp. How are we still having pre-snap penalties in week 1? And you could talk about we got a revamped offensive line, but those guys that came in here have been playing in the league for multiple years. Joe Tooney is not a rookie. Jackson is not a rookie. Dahlman is not a rookie. How are you false starting in your fucking building? You know the snap count. The crowd is being quiet when you got the ball. How are you moving and it's a false start? There's no excuse for that. That's the shit that pisses me off.
Yeah.
When you can go in there and it's winning time and you can't muster a first down. We had 117 yards rushing, guys. 58 came from Caleb Williams.
Right.
How is that possible? We can't run the goddamn ball?
No.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. When we sit here and we're talking about, okay, what do we foresee can happen for this year for us? It's the same old problems. And that's why I'm so pissed off. We have seen this movie before. Time in, you can interchange the players, you can interchange the coaches, and it's the same shit. We're in games, and we're sitting here losing games. We know we should win. The other team knows we should win. And somehow we find a way to lose a game. We go in the fourth quarter, 250-something yards to 77 yards total offense for the Minnesota Vikings. And those motherfuckers go down there and score 3 straight touchdowns. We can't even get a goddamn first down. And that's what I'm talking about. And now we want to sit here and we want to start asking questions of Ryan Poles. I've been asking these questions for 3 years. We gave him a contract extension. We went out there and we got the guy everybody wanted. And we still come up with the same result we had with Nagy, the same result we had with Eberflus. And yeah, we can say all we want to. It's one game. We've been saying that for years too. It's one game. It's one game. And then it turns into 2 games. And then it turns into 3 games. And then it turns to a 10-game losing streak, which is what we experienced last year. It's time out for that shit, guys. It's time out for it. And it's not just Caleb Williams. I'm talking about Ben Johnson too. The coaching malpractice that was on display last night from you, sir, is inexplicable. Inexplicable. I work an everyday job. I don't get paid to make the decisions. But if I can sit back and say, okay, we got 2 minutes and 2 seconds left on the clock. This ball has got to either go through the end zone or it's got to go out of bounds. Because you only have one timeout. You burned one on a stupid ass challenge that Stevie Wonder could see that the guy was fucking down. So you shouldn't sit there and make that challenge, but you did anyway. So you wasted a timeout. So we all know that we cannot allow the Minnesota Vikings to run this ball out of the end zone. And what do? We give a weak-legged guy the opportunity to go and kick the ball 8 yards into the end zone, and he runs it out, wasting our last chance to get another timeout and save us about 45 to 50 seconds on the clock. Right. That's coaching malpractice. You kick the ball out of bounds. You don't even give Cairo Santos the opportunity to not kick it through the end zone. You kick the shit out of bounds. I don't give a damn what your plan was. You take the most safest route. Kick the shit out of bounds. Give him the ball on the 40. You got 2 timeouts with the 2-minute warning. Coaching malpractice.
I think, even I don't remember what it was, but Ben said, we intended to kick it out of the end zone, but that's not knowing your personnel, because
thank you,
Santos
ain't never been that guy. He ain't never been that guy.
He doesn't have the strongest leg for sure. So
Clarence, quick question though. Like, I understand your frustration and everything like that, but you're saying it's incompetence from the coaching situation and with the players and basically not executing. What can you guys do, like, going forward to kind of, I'm not gonna say salvage the season, because there is 16 games left. There's a lot of football left to be played and things can change. So what can you guys do systematically and personnel wise to kind of like not have these situations keep showing up every game?
Number one, people have got to do their jobs. And it's time that we hold people accountable, because a lot of people that got paid ain't doing their jobs. We ain't able to run the ball, number one. And number two, how are we running the ball with just one guy? We had a run back heavy draft. We go and get a dry and Kyle Monangai late in the draft when we could have had Hampton. We could have had Quinshawn Judkins. We could have had Travion Henderson. Where was our number 1 pick at last night? Colston Loveland.
He caught a ball about 3 feet behind him.
If you draft a guy 10 overall, he is supposed to factor heavily in your game plan. We know Hampton would have done that. We know Quinshawn Judkins would have done that. And running back was a need. We didn't need another damn tight end. But we went out and drafted one. Why? Because our head coach likes to have 2 tight end sets. Well, how did two tight end sets run us last night? How did that help us? It didn't. So that's number 1. Number two is, I mean, it's just X's and O's. That's number 2. X's and O's. And you got to go in there. You got to get these guys in there. We got to figure out why we're having these pre-snap penalties. That's inexcusable. I understand that, there's going to be holes here and there, but there ain't no excuse for pre-snap penalties. Those are mental lapses, and it's in your own building. How you false starting? The crowd is not even a factor, and you know the snap count. You can hear the quarterback's cadence. Why are you false starting? Those are things that have to be corrected, and they need to be corrected now. We knew it's been a problem the whole training camp. It's been reported every single day. Pre-snap penalties, pre-snap penalties, pre-snap penalties. And we ain't going nowhere if Caleb Williams is not the guy. We're not. I said that before we even played this game. If your quarterback cannot spin the wheel, you ain't going nowhere. I don't give a damn what your name is.
So let's just say, like, with Caleb Williams, right? Because y'all do know that Ben Johnson didn't draft Caleb. So
we know that.
He has no super connection with Caleb right now. He didn't bring him into the organization. Like, do you think if Caleb continues to play the way he played last night,
yes,
for the next 7 games, do you think Ben Johnson has the cojones to say, I gotta sit you down, put the backup in, just so we can try to win the game?
That cry's already started. Me and Todd were talking about that before you two signed in. That the Tyson
but Ben Johnson said he came there for Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Todd, you talk about that. That cry's already, because you were talking about that before these two signed in. The cries have already started for Bagent.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, this is, and not that Johnson was involved in personnel in Detroit, especially early on, but I've always been a big Matt Stafford guy. I've always liked Matt Stafford quite a bit, and that trade kind of blew me away because that was at the point where Goff was going to play himself out of the league if it didn't change. And I honestly thought he might be a 1-year guy there, and they try to spend some of those picks for it. And just on a, and I don't know if you've seen Tyson Bagent play much or anything. He's our backup quarterback. He looks a little bit like Goff. He's probably pretty close. He might have 90% of the arm that Goff has. It might be a little weaker than that, but he's known.
I don't think he has enough arm.
Right. Well, that's the thing. But also, in this offense,
his decision making.
His decision making is rock
seems to be quicker.
He processes it. He figured out this offense in weeks. And I'm not sure that when we're done with the season, if Caleb's gonna know as much about this offense as Bagent did halfway through training camp. So,
and that's the thing that's like interesting to me, because if I'm a GM and I have a relationship with that coach, if we in training camp and I can see that a lot of the media is talking and is basically saying that we're having like pre-snap penalty. We having lack of leadership from the quarterback situation. Quarterback's not getting it together. Like, that's why I like Kwesi so much, because Kwesi will just be like, all right, I got to go. I think if you let Caleb continue to keep playing like this and he doesn't play well, it doesn't snap, you guys ain't gonna get nothing back for him. And you guys kind of set you guys up to have that number 1 pick. And it'd be like Trey Lance all over again.
Yeah, a failed, top 10 quarterback pick.
Exactly.
It takes years to recover. It takes
and that's the thing that I don't understand with Ben. If Ben I don't believe that Ben came there for Caleb. I think Ben came there because he wanted the head coaching job. There's only 32 of them in the league, and you got to get one of them. I don't think he came there for Caleb. And I think Ben, if he found out during the offseason that Caleb can't get it done and not that guy, hey, this is the highest his stock is going to be. You know, so he could have moved on, but now it's.
I think
know. So what? I mean, just a second. He'll make 2 or 3 unbelievable plays every game. There'll be some ridiculous 30-yard pass that most guys have no chance of being able to do. But if he's going to miss 10 easy, chunk plays,
he's got to hit the layups.
You know who that sounds like? Anthony Richardson.
Well, I don't think it's that bad, but Richardson, Caleb's a better passer than Richardson will ever be, but still, he makes a lot of mistakes. I think Richardson's done.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. But that's the thing.
Ben Johnson,
yards, but he can't make the routine plays.
Right.
Well, Ben Johnson said he came there for Caleb Williams. That's number one. He could have went just about anywhere. He had 3-4 suitors. He chose the Bears. That's number one. Number two. I'm not as pissed off at the big picture as I am just by this losing this football game. I didn't want to start 0-1. You got to go to Detroit next week. That's a must-win game. You can't go 0-2 and be 0-2 in your division. The loser of that game is in a lot of trouble. And I didn't want to be put in this situation. This was the game to win. And when you're looking at the first 3 quarters, I wouldn't be as mad. I mean, I would have still been pissed off, but I wouldn't be as mad if Minnesota just came in and beat our ass and all of our deficiencies showed with missing 3 starters, et cetera, But it's a game that we were controlling. The strength of this football team was supposed to show up. And the strength of this football team is supposed to be the offense. They didn't show up. The defense did. They ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. And then a guy who had been there last year got outshined by a second-year rookie. That's plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's what happened. Don't talk to me about the refs. The refs is not why we lost this football game. No. Our inability to put points on the board and move the ball and run the ball is why we lost this football game. Our inability of our quarterback to make layup throws is the reason why we lost this football game. And our special teams was a disaster as well because Cairo Santos collects a paycheck too, and he didn't do the one and only damn job that he has. And that's to put the damn ball between the uprights. You just watched Dave go down there and kick a 59-yard field goal on your end of the field. And on the same end of the field, you missed a 50-yarder. And oh, by the way, while I'm on that, what the fuck you doing, Dennis Allen? Why would you give up a 28-yard pass to help them get in field goal range? Situational football, guys. We have seen this. We have complained about it every single year. Know what's happening. Know what the other team is trying to accomplish. And Dennis Allen, as well as your defense was performing, you failed us. Because you drop back in zone, let them catch the ball in front of you on a it's going to be the last play they ran, and you let them pick up all that yardage to attempt such a large field goal. By the way, that damn kid looked like it was good from over 60, but still, you let him pick up 28 yards. Blitz his ass. Blitz him. Because the goal is to not let them put points on the board.
True.
Yeah. No,
so
I agree.
You guys got Detroit next week.
Yeah, let's talk about next week. Well, let me ask you, D Woods, before let me give you a chance.
Okay.
JJ McCarthy, first game, honest opinion, what you thought? I mean, I thought we played the way I would have played. I would have pressured him. In the fourth quarter, we were gassed. We were out of gas. But what did you think overall of McCarthy?
I feel like this. He bounced back.
He did.
Game, but let's not let this be a flash in the pan. I'm not saying he got to come back and bring us every game, but you gotta play better early. And that's the one thing with Kevin O'Connell teams is like we normally would complain about the first series, like the opening script. Like we normally do good there, go down the field, score a touchdown, and then the offense kind of disappears in the second and third quarter. This game, we had no offense for 3 quarters, and I'm just really like interested to see like how JJ McCarthy is going to come into the game on Sunday night, because you can't start off slow. Some teams will just bury you if you start off slow. Like you don't get an opportunity.
We should have done that. We didn't.
So with that being said, like I still think JJ McCarthy has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback, a franchise quarterback, but I'm going to put that on reserve because I need to see this type of performance that he had in the fourth quarter for a stretch of games. Like I need it for like 5 games. I can't just be like, oh, it sounds good because you're a fan and you like, yeah, we got our guy, but you have to be realistic and say like, all right, if he throws another dud, for 4 quarters against Atlanta, I'm gonna be sitting here like, man, what's going on? So I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
He looked pretty clutch when it counted.
Yeah,
he looked pretty clutch when it counted, but I don't even want to get to that point. Like,
yeah,
I need you to come out there and have the offense rolling. I do know that Darisaw didn't play, and we had Justin Skol was not great, and Jordan Addison is not playing, and I'm gonna admit, Adam Thielen did look like he was 40 years old out there.
Well, he's been here for the last 2 years. We see a lot of him, so he slowed down. He was
but you can't. The offense can't start off slow. I just do see Kevin O'Connell's philosophy changing because he allowed Jordan Mason to kind of like win us.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast, and it's like
he's a beast in the fourth quarter.
We never had that in the Kevin O'Connell offense. When we get down, it's more like he's trying to chuck the ball, but now he can't do that because you got a first year quarterback that hasn't done that yet, so you have to give him something else. So I'm just really going to enjoy this season to see how this team actually progress. Like week 7, I want them to be gelling together. Then I can say like, okay, I know what we got.
Right. Sure. Yeah, Mason looks like a really good signing.
Yeah, great signing. Because I wanted either Trevion Henderson or Amari Hampton or those guys too, because we need to be able to run the ball. The best thing you can do for a young quarterback is have a good run in the game, great O-line, and a good defense. That's what you need.
So we got a Chicago Bears fan already trying to sell tickets. Damn. JJ McCarthy, I think the pick 6. If I'm a Vikings fan, I'm glad it's out of his system, and you still won. I think he will never make that throw again in the NFL. He learned his fucking lesson that these corners are really fast at this level. He won't make that throw again. So, guys, let's talk about next week. So, Chicago Clarence, I'll kick it to you. You just talked about the Detroit game. Who do you think is going to win that game? I mean, this is a must-win for both teams because nobody wants to go 0-2. We got teacher against student. I mean, it's hard to say what Ben Johnson will do against Dan Campbell because Ben Johnson's never faced Dan Campbell, except maybe in practice, if that counts at all. I mean, this is a must-win game for us, is it not?
It's a must-win. It's a must-win football game for both teams.
Yes,
the Detroit Lions have, I would say, just as much talent, if not more talent, than we do across the board.
Oh no!
And I think not having their coordinator showed on Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. But if you're a Chicago Bear fan, what can we expect? What can we hope for?
I don't know.
You know, I can't honestly tell you that I would pick the Chicago Bears if they played the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, and I am being real and honest.
So right now, ESPN has. Go ahead. Detroit is 5.5-point favorites.
Yeah, it was 4.5 last time I looked. I mean, and I think that's fair. We never know. We never know what to expect from this football team. We invent ways to lose football games every damn week, and things that should be as pedestrian. It seems hard. It's a reason why we are the only team in the NFL who not have a 3,000-yard passer. I mean,
4.
4,000. I'm sorry, 4,000-yard passer. It's a reason why. Even the Carolina Panthers have that, but we don't. It's a reason why, because we can't get the offensive side of the football correct. We went out there and we got the baddest one who had ran 3 straight years with top 3 offense, and he gets in here and we score 10 points going into the fourth quarter in our building and in the season opener on national TV. I don't know what to expect. I mean, maybe it's just frustration. I don't know. I'm just tired of seeing this movie.
Oh, I am too, man. So D Woods, you have the Falcons.
Yes.
I mean, you predicting a win there, a loss?
I mean, I think JJ McCarthy is going on he's going on the tear. He got to go out there. Everybody that was drafted ahead of him, he got to go out there and beat him. Caleb was the first one. Now Michael Penix is next. So and after that, it'd be Jaden Daniels. He gotta start marking him off his list. I mean, he gotta have a chip on his shoulder. But the Atlanta situation, as a Viking fan, I really don't want to say it, but it's going to be a lot of talk about Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins is the backup. You know, he was here for all those years.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I'm over it. But Atlanta's it's the home opener. I'm actually going to be at that game too. I'm actually flying out Friday night, and my layover is in Chicago, so I'm gonna be in my Viking.
So Todd, can we win this game Sunday?
Well, based on how they looked against the Packers, yeah, we can beat them. Their offensive line has been their mainstay, and it seemed like there were several problems against the Packers. You know, I don't know how much of that, you know, you want to talk about the Packers pass rush, but they had problems. You know, they've always been a team that's given up some points, so yeah, we can beat them. You know, and you got to think, you know, Ben's going to want to, you know, that's a big game for them. So, yeah, I think
we got to.
I think that number as far as the underdog thing, I mean, it's in Detroit, so that, you know, you're going to give them some points for that. But they didn't impress me last week. So if
Caleb has a bad game in another divisional opponent, especially, you know, considering Ben Johnson came from the Lions, do you think he gets pulled?
I think they're going to give. I think they give him a full year under this system to try it out and see what we have. I think you have to do that. I mean, there might be, you know, I don't think you just, you know, if we're 0-5 or 0-4 go after the bye week, maybe. But I mean, it would take something like that.
He would have to be Russell Wilson bad, from what we saw on Sunday.
Yeah,
he's got a long leash.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get a full year together figuring out this offense. And I'm not saying that he can't, and whether he has some learning disorders, I don't know. What I want to see is I want to look at him play and believe that he really wants to learn that system. And I'm not 100% on board with that yet.
So let's get through some of these comments because I honestly can't keep up with them. There's that many in here again, just like last show. So, Minnesota Van, how do you guys make the same mistake as last year? That's what we do. Plain and simple. This is what we do. You thought we were playoff, but you thought we, as in Bears fans, were playoff bound. Ignored the fact that there was going to be growing pains that led you to a 5-win season last year. So now what? I don't know what we do. I mean, I think it can only. I don't want to say it can only get better because it can get a lot worse. We saw that last year.
Yeah,
I think you just have to go through the games, go through the reps, go through practice, go through scrimmage, review the game tapes, show Caleb the routes that are open, the throws he could have made, what he left on the field, and I honestly don't know how you fix his accuracy issues. I have a bad feeling this is going to be. I think this is going to be who he is.
Well, this schedule is hard, so I mean, there's a few games in there that, you know, on paper we should just absolutely win, but I mean it's pretty brutal. So I mean, he's going to have to play better than he did. That's just it. I mean, you can blame all kind of everything, but I think this falls on. There's a couple coaching mistakes there. That field goal before halftime, we kind of fell asleep, and Clarence brought that up. That's true. Not kicking the ball to the end zone. You should have known he couldn't do that. You got to know what they can do. So there was some coaching. There was some coaching in that, in challenging that play. There was 3 or 4 coaching. We got out coached without a doubt. I mean, I think you guys have a great coach. But I think he's still better than what we had, and so much of last year was blamed on coaching. But it's too early to say.
The Vikings MVP last night was the Chicago Bears. I agree with that. If it wasn't for your unforced errors,
I want to keep it real
and blowing up chances, we would have lost.
I want to keep it real though.
We would have lost. Go ahead.
The thing that we could sit here, we could criticize Ben Johnson for going for it on 4th down in the first quarter, second quarter, whatever it was. I don't remember. Right. But let's remember something. DJ Moore was wide the fuck open.
Yeah, he was.
He was wide open. And Caleb Williams missed him. That's a touchdown. We even having this discussion. We're not even second guessing the decision. And that's what I'm talking about. You have got to go out there and make plays. Because DJ Moore was wide the fuck open. And Caleb Williams missed him. Can't happen. And then the thing that really, really goats me is all the shit that we're talking about Caleb Williams right now not being able to do was the same shit that they said Justin Fields could not do. Same shit. Could not throw the ball downfield with accuracy. I call bullshit on that because the game that I saw Sunday, he was throwing that shit all over the place.
So Kevin O'Connell has this saying, right? When he came to our team, he has this saying that he says that organizations fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail organizations. Could that be the case?
Yes,
that's definitely the case. I'm not going to say it ain't the case with Caleb Williams. We don't know. Well, okay, let me back up. It was the case in his rookie year. He was in a dumpster fire. I mean, a damn dumpster fire. But I have been on the record since day one, and Todd and Andy will tell you, we did not give Justin Fields the tools to succeed in Chicago. We failed him as an organization. And even when they told him and said, this is the year where you got to prove it or lose it, we gave him DJ Moore and said, go out there and prove it. And then giving him off the line. And we gave him incompetence at the play calling position. And then we shipped his ass off and let him go.
Yeah.
And said that he could not do the same shit that we're complaining about Caleb Williams right now. We said that he could not read defenses. We said that he could not stand in the pocket and make plays. Well, Caleb Williams ain't doing that shit neither.
If you look at how we brought in McCarthy, like even though McCarthy didn't play last year, Sam Darnold was brought in as a stopgap quarterback. But no one thought McCarthy was going to get hurt in the preseason game. And it was okay to have Darnold on the roster. But if you look at everything done the first season for McCarthy, you bring in Josh McCown, who's the quarterback coach. He's a quarterback that's played a backup for over 10 years in this league. And he kind of he knows what's being, said from the quarterback to the quarterback, from the coaches and what's going on out there. And then the second year with McCarthy, it's like, okay, if he's going to play, we need to make sure the interior of the O-line is going to be a lot better than what it was the year before. And then you go out and you trade for a guy like Jordan Mason, and you retain guys like Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson. And even though Addison likes to get in trouble a lot, he's still on the roster too. And on the other side of the ball, you give him a good defense. That way he doesn't have to try to win the game solely on himself, and you actually giving them things to succeed. And especially with Justin Fields, I just never got it, man. I never got it why, hey, he's a young quarterback, just give him a running game. That's the easiest thing you could do, just have a good consistent running game to keep the pressure off of him. And I do believe Kevin O'Connell has something when he says that organizations fail young quarterbacks, and they didn't young quarterbacks for organizations. The
offensive lines, you're right. The offensive lines that Justin Fields was given, those guys are either not in the league or their asses are sitting on the bench. He doesn't have a single guy that started for him in Chicago that's starting anywhere else. And that's facts. That is facts. But we shipped his ass out of here and we put a label on him as saying that he was not the guy.
So Smitty Q says every quarterback has a weakness accuracy. Caleb's is Caleb. So you continue to hammer down in the film session. I agree with you, Smitty, but you got to step on that field and you got to let it rip. You got to make those throws.
He got to get his feet set, guys. You know what I'm saying? His feet is the problem. You know, I'm a goddamn salesman and I can see it. Why can't they see it? That's the problem. His feet is the problem.
JT
you got to get your feet set and able to deliver the ball. That's the reason why the ball to was it Komet or Loveland that he threw the ball too high over the middle.
No, well, Komet was.
That's the reason. That's the reason why the shit was too high. He didn't have his feet set. He don't turn his hips when he goes to his follow through.
Right.
That shit is correctable, and it's got to get corrected.
So Caleb, do you think it might be best for somebody just to break his mechanics completely down and build him back up? But you can't do that while he's playing.
No,
you can't do that in season. You can't do it in season. And maybe he would benefit like Bryce Young did last year. Sit his ass down. I don't know. I mean, I really and truly, I'm grasping at straws because we've been watching this for years. You know, we don't even know what good quarterbacking looks like unless they're playing us because we ain't never had it here.
So, Smitty Q brought up the lame duck situation that our last three quarterbacks have been through. Mitch drafted, Coach GM fired. Justin drafted, Coach GM fired. Caleb, same thing. Yeah, we're well aware of that cycle. And JT Barrett is our quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was for you, Clarence.
So, Daryl, I agree with you, Daryl. One game. It is one game. I don't think we're overreacting, but I do think Caleb is going to have accuracy issues. I think that's could be who he is. These guys are cooking. We try, James. We try.
Yeah, but that's like even though that Ben Johnson is touted as this offensive guy, he's not touted as somebody who's developing young quarterbacks. Like Jared Goff, when he got Jared Goff, he was already went to a Super Bowl. He already had Pro Bowls. He just was in a bad situation with the Rams. They really didn't want to pay him. They wanted to get something different going on. So it's like, I don't understand why when you come into a team and you know your quarterback has other issues, I would just break him down completely and then build it back up. And that's kind of what KOC has done with McCarthy. Like when he came in, he didn't look like he looks now, but he looks a little bit different. But that the whole thing takes time, and you can't do it throughout the season. You got to do it during the off season. And that's why I keep asking, like, does a time come where you guys are not winning any games and Caleb is the reason why you guys are not winning? You got to have that uncomfortable conversation. You got to have it.
I don't think there's any way you throw in the towel yet on Caleb. No way. Not after one game. No freaking way. That's why you hammer down the film session. I agree with you, but you still got to make the throws on the field.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to. I understand the film. I get it, but you got to just grip that ball, let it rip. Like, you got to grip it and rip it. The old saying, just grip it, rip it. Of the first 10 scripted plays, Caleb looked like Rain Man. After that, he looked like autism. Yeah. So let's get to our final thoughts. Todd, let's just get to the Detroit game. Who wins? Is the spread covered?
Well, if they play like they played,
I'm also keeping track of our predictions for the Bears. So we're all 0-1.
Yeah.
Our guest is 1-0. That pisses me off. But anyway, Todd, did we beat Detroit this Sunday?
You know, Ben knows the defense inside and out. Obviously, so I think if the Lions played like they played Sunday, yeah, we'll win. But they were terrible. So
did we win? Yes or no?
Yes, we win.
So Todd's picking the Bears. I I do not think we win Sunday.
Oh,
I think Dan Campbell is going to show why he's the teacher and Ben Johnson's the student. I can't see Dan Campbell losing 2 games in a row in Detroit.
I want him to lose 2 games in a row.
And I feel like he's pissed off at Ben Johnson for taking a good chunk of his staff with.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to want to prove a point. He's got an axe to grind. So AD took some guys too up there with the Jets. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So I do not think we win this Sunday. So who do I pick to? I will let D Woods go. I'll let Chicago Clarence sign us out. D Woods, you've got the Atlanta Falcons. You guys win or lose this Sunday? Win. Is there anything else you want to say? And thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you.
No problem. So
much.
I think you guys like the crossover thing. I got some guys in Detroit that we jump on their podcast every year too, like going on 3 years. I'm gonna send them you guys this link. Maybe y'all can link up throughout the week and y'all can have some black and blue stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, anyway, check him out. Skol State of Mind. Again, thank you so much for joining us, man. It's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. I mean, we've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, even though we lost. I've enjoyed it. So, Chicago Clarence, take us home, man. I know your blood pressure's high. I see the pill bottle right beside you for medication, man. Sign us out. Take us home.
I don't know what to expect from this football team. I mean, I know what I've been getting, and it's been the same old sad story. So, I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and based on what I'm looking at, based on the preseason reports, and they were correct. Caleb Williams has not looked good. He didn't look good in camp. We saw him for a stretch against a bunch of people for the Buffalo Bills that are working at Walmart and car salesmen and school janitorials right now, because that's the defense that he went up against. And when he gets out there against professional football players who do this for a living, he has not looked good. And so it's hard for me to get on here and ride with him right now. I have no faith in him right now. I got no faith in the Bears organization. I'm pissed off. All the way around. I'm pissed off that as our defense ran out of gas last night, would it not have been great to run Booker out there to go get McCarthy? But you know why? You know why we couldn't play him? Because our coach decided to play him in a preseason game that we're up by 1 million against Buffalo, and we send him out there on special teams and get him hurt. So he's missing for the first month of the season. It's stupid shit like that affects us later. We don't go out there and get a viable running back. Nick Chubb was out there. We didn't go get him. We didn't even call. So, you know, this is the stuff that haunts us time and time again. And, you know, I'm just signing out this. I mean, I'm pissed off. And am I giving up the season? No, I'm not. But I'm mad about the start of this season, because it has been a culmination of season after season, game after game, and we have watched the Chicago Bears perform at a pedestrian, pathetic level. And then I got to sit here and answer the call when I try to represent them and answer the call and get ragged on by other fans, you know, rightfully so, because we were drinking the Kool-Aid thinking that Ben Johnson was going to come in here and we were going to be finally a competent offense, and it's the same shit. We look no different than when Matt Nagy and Shane Waldron was calling plays and Brian was calling plays for this team. We look no different.
So who's your pick Sunday?
I mean, if you force me to pick, I'm going to say Detroit.
Oof. A panel divided. So, D. Woods, let me ask you, who do you think wins Sunday between the Bears and Lions?
I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears to be the Lions because I want the Lions to be looking up at everybody else in the division. I'm tired of the Lions. Bears fans is cool. Lions fans are terrible. They're terrible. At least you guys got a Super Bowl and something that you can like brag about. Lions fans, they never did nothing in the NFL. So
that was 40. Did you
not see that? Did you guys not see us celebrating having the old Bears team out there passing around the one Super Bowl trophy that we got? And it's been so long ago, Moses was one of the damn referees. I mean, that's how long ago it was. And we sitting up there parading around like that shit just happened within the last decade. It's been 4. 4 decades. Get out of
We
here.
never got one though. We never got one. So I just don't like I don't like Dan Campbell, man. The whole biting kneecap situation, and sometimes he's a little bit too much, and I don't want him to win no more. I want the Lions to be back to the old Lions. Done.
You gotta have respect for the guy though. He went into a train wreck and he resurrected that football team.
Yeah, I give him that, but
that was the worst franchise in the league. It was the worst franchise in the league when he went there. They were a mess across the board. But you know who's sitting up there pressing for that belt right now? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
We can't get nothing right. I mean, we are so bad that we had 5 straight concerts at Soldier Field right before our home opener when they out there and resodding the field because we got no say-so of what happens in that building. And oh, by the way, we're still trying to get our deal ready where we can sit there and break ground on a property that we have owned for over a year. We can't even get that right. And Washington has built another stadium, played in it for years, and they're getting ready to build another one. And we still can't get another stadium built in that same time frame. It's maddening how we conduct business in Chicago. It's maddening.
All right.
No wonder we can't get the football team right. No wonder.
All right, guys. Again,
you guys can always be Viking fans.
Oh, man. Skol State of Mind. Thank you again for joining us, man.
All right, thank you, guys.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time, bear down, everyone. Peace out. And go Bears.